You're home. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Gould, aka Mrs. Geek, and aka RV Geek. Yeah, maybe we'll see her on the road one of these days. Well, it's definitely my passion. When I say thank you for having me on, I just try to stop me talking about Google Photos. That's the hard thing. Are you hearing? Oh, are you hearing him? Oh. Well, yeah, I hear you fine, but I'm on the inside. Yeah, Jim is watching on another computer over here, and he says he doesn't hear you either. I do. So maybe I can repeat what you say. How about let's get one of those tin cans with the string in between? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, while Michael is trying to figure out his sound, I'll just go ahead and get started. I do have a little presentation, a few slides that I can start with. So telling you that my name is Chris Gould, and I am one of the two people involved with Geeks on Tour, myself and my husband. So I'm Mrs. Geek, he's Mr. Geek, and I have been in technology training since 1983. I was Picasa was my passion for many, many years. And when Google switched over to Google Photos, I jumped on the bandwagon right away. I started answering questions in the Google Photos forum, and they've named me a top contributor, and I am now a platinum top contributor. And I love to talk about Google Photos. I use it all the time. I have over 60,000 photos in my Google Photos library. And I use both iPhone and Android and Windows computer and Mac computer and iPads and you name it, I use it. So I love to talk about it.
Hey, real quick, if anybody can hear me, I want to see if my sound's working now for you guys out there. If you'll just let me know. Go ahead, Chris, keep
Okay,
going.
so Michael is asking if anybody hears him, just in case you do hear me and you still don't hear him.
Okay.
Let him know. Um, so the first thing to know about Google Photos is just what is it? What is its prime directive? If Okay, Jim says he just heard you.
Fantastic.
Sounds
Good.
like it was fairly delayed, but that's also the way it is.
Fantastic.
So the prime directive for Google Photos is to be a forever home for your unlimited lifetime of photos. And that means in the cloud, because there's no other way to do that, but with cloud storage services. What Google Photos does very differently from others is that it is unlimited for free. So as I say, I have 60,000 pictures on Google Photos, and I don't pay a penny for that. And for the most part, they've all gathered there automatically. I didn't have to do any kind of work.
That's my favorite kind right there.
Right, right. I say it's all fun and no work. Or, as the subtitle of my book says, your lifetime of memories, effortless and free. And I refer to them as memories rather than photos because this is to distinguish it from people like professional photographers who do photo shoots. It's not for them. They can use it, but it's really not for them. The purpose is your personal memories, your lifetime of memories. Okay, so if you're interested in learning, all the nitty gritty, I do have a book out, and you can get it at Amazon or on our website, geeksontour.com.
Awesome. I think that's great.
And so before I get into demo, most of the time I'm going to spend actually demoing Google Photos, but a little bit of terminology just to make sure that we're all on the same page, and that there's 3 terms that I use a lot: cloud and download and upload. So when I say cloud, I'm speaking generically. The cloud, when I say the cloud, it's the same idea as like saying the beach. I'm not talking about a particular beach owned by a particular town. I'm just talking about the beach, so the cloud. There are lots of different cloud storage services. Apple has iCloud, Google has Google Cloud, Microsoft has OneDrive, Amazon has Amazon Cloud. But by cloud, it means it's not on your device. It's up there, it's out there somewhere. Upload means taking something that's on your device in front of you and sending it up to the cloud. And download means something is already in the cloud and you want it physically stored on your device. So that's upload and download. That's a bit of a bandstand of mine. People get that mixed up so often, and it's hard to give an answer when you're not speaking the same language.
Yes, that is so true. That's good that you clarify that at the beginning too.
Okay, so another terminology specifically to Google Photos is photo library. Your photo library means all of your pictures. So in this little image here, I have a computer, a hard drive, and a phone, and every one of them has photos on them. Using the processes of Google Photos, it gathers pictures from all 3 of those devices and just culminates in one library in a giant stream organized by date. Google Photos does not have folders. So it's just one giant stream automatically sorted by date, but all called your photo library. It's unlimited storage for free if you choose the setting called high quality. And high quality really is high quality. I see no reason to have original quality. So high quality, unlimited storage for free.
That is true. A lot of times, even on the bigger files, when you get those huge files, you can't even put them on your website because it takes too much to upload them and download them and all that stuff. So
exactly. I actually prefer the
high quality,
the compressed version that Google does. One more thing is Google account. So the only requirement for using Google Photos is that you have a Google account. So what is a Google account? Well, it is usually a Gmail address. It is always some kind of email address. You can use an email address that is not Gmail to create a Google account. But if you have a Gmail address, you absolutely have a Google account. And the account identifies the storage location of the pictures. So I have this image here of a safe, and it says you@gmail.com. So those pictures all belong to you. And here's another safe with me@gmail.com. All those pictures belong to me. It is up to you to know the password for that address. If you don't know it, you could lose
access.
Access, yeah. I have seen it happen. You can lose access completely. They're very, very stringent.
Yep.
All right. Oh, yeah. And one last thing. This is getting a little more in detail, but iCloud versus Google Photos. I like to explain this a little bit because if there are people out there with iPhones, you might have iCloud Photo Library turned on. And can you also use Google Photos? Well, yes, but it's important to understand there's a basic difference. iCloud's purpose is to keep all your devices in sync. So if you look at the picture on the left here, iCloud, Apple, wants your phone and your tablet and your computer and your cloud to have the exact same thing. So if you delete a picture from one, it's deleted from all. Keep that in mind. Google Photos and all the others, as far as I know, OneDrive and Amazon, have a different philosophy. Their philosophy is to collect everything in the cloud. Once it's in the cloud, you can delete it from the device that took it in the first place. And then any device can see what's in the cloud. Personally, that just makes more sense to me. So I do use iCloud, but just to learn about it. So the point is, be careful with deleting. If you use Google Photos to delete a photo on your iPhone and you have iCloud Photo Library turned on, it will be deleted from there too. So just a little caveat.
There you go.
And now what I want to do is demo. So I figured I want to show you how I use Google Photos and how I collect all my photos and what I do with them. So I'm calling it a day in the life. I take pictures, they're automatically uploaded. As soon as I take them, I love to look at them and make them look better with the editing tools. I love to make little movies, and I might take hundreds of pictures, even in one day. I go through and add my best to a monthly album, and you can see all my monthly albums on my blog. Then
Hey Chris,
yeah.
that's kind of cool though, that you can take 100 a day and your phone doesn't get bogged down and say, "Hey, I don't have enough memory and stuff." That
Well, you have to have a good phone.
you do have to have a good phone though, don't you? Yes.
Yeah, because if I do take 200 in one day, I have been known to fill up my phone in one day, and then I use the Google Photo technique to free up space.
Right.
You know, once I check. Now here's number 6. Number 6 is very important. I need to make sure that Google Photos got my photo, and I have a second one. I let OneDrive take my photos from my phone also. That one is my true backup. Google Photos is my working copy, and OneDrive is my true backup. If I know that both of those worked, then I delete them from the phone.
Gotcha.
So that's my technique.
So deleting it from the phone leaves it in the cloud, and you're probably going to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, and just a little plug here. Let me see. How do I get back to... there we go. Yes. So now I'm back. So kind of what I'm going to go over is in my book, towards the back, I have a flow chart of my workflow. And if you know anything about flow charts, you know that it's a diamond shape that is a decision point. And notice in this whole flow chart of how I handle my pictures, there's only one decision to be made. I mean, I take the pictures, I let them automatically gather to Google Photos, I look at them, I play with them, and then I just decide, is it a good one? If it is, I add it to my monthly album. If it isn't, I do nothing. So there's just
That's
no,
the process.
that's the process.
Gotcha.
The only work that I do for my photos is decide whether one is good enough to be in my monthly album.
Gotcha.
That's it. Okay, so I want to start by taking a couple of photos.
Hey, real quick, Tom Westheimer said, why not use Google Drive instead of OneDrive? That's just a choice of preference, right?
Well, no,
Okay.
because Google Drive is connected with Google Photos. Your
Hmm.
photo goes up there. It's actually that's a whole other, and they're changing the way that works right now. But right now, the Google Drive is the same photo. If I delete my photo from Google Drive, it's deleted from Google Photos. So,
Hmm.
but we could do a whole other show just on the Google Drive, and one of those videos that I sent you that I think you put in the comments talks about the Google Drive.
Okay.
So also Google Drive, my Google Drive only has like 4 GB left in it.
Oh, okay.
My OneDrive, I get a terabyte because I have Office 365. So
Oh,
I
I
have a
got you.
terabyte of storage there.
I got you. Michael Thomas
Okay.
asks, see, interested. Okay, he says, but I am really interested in private photo collections with Google Photos versus public photos in collections. Not real sure what he's talking about there, but maybe you do.
Well, yeah, because people can Google can search using Google for any kind of photo,
Mm,
they seem to feel that their Google photos are public. That is
okay.
absolutely not the case. Your Google photos are for your eyes only, and in fact, if you forget your password, like I say,
Mm,
you can't even get to them. So that's
gotcha.
and in Google Photos, you cannot make an album findable in a Google search.
Oh,
You
wow.
can't. All you can do is make it so that anybody with the link can see them.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, you with yeah. Previously you could with Picasa, but not with Google Photos. Okay, I'm going to take a selfie.
Okay.
So, yeah, with here. And I'm going to take a picture of Jim, who's sitting right here across the table from me. And that's just to have a couple of recent photos to show you. Now I'm going to put the camera on the phone so you can see what I just did. So this is my iPhone. This is an iPhone 7 Plus. It's a great phone, great camera. And here is my Google Photos. And you can see, here are the photos, here are a bunch of photos I took today. Here are the 2 photos I just took. So my selfie and the picture of Jim. Can you see the little bitty arrows, circular arrows there?
I can vaguely make it out. I don't know if
That
the
those
viewers can,
circular
but
arrows, and I love those. They've done away with them on the Android version. Indicate that these photos are on the phone. They are waiting to get uploaded to the
hmm.
cloud. And why is that? That is because I have the settings, and here is the settings for Google Photos iPhone, is that little gear. For backup and sync, I have told it that it is not allowed to use my cellular data to back up the photos.
Nice.
Therefore, when I take a picture, they're just sitting there until they have a Wi-Fi. They will go up as soon as I get a Wi-Fi, so I'm going to go and turn on my Wi-Fi. And then I'm going to go back to Google Photos, and in a second you should see them spinning. You
Oh
see
yeah.
that?
Yep.
So that is letting you know that they are uploading to your cloud. And if you tap on your assistant here, it says backing up photos, 2 items left. And the thing that you really want to see is when it says backup complete, which it will in a minute. But you will also know because those
It
there, see the
stopped.
little cloud?
Yep.
See the
Yep.
little cloud? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to assistant, it says backup complete.
Nice.
Now I could, if I wanted to, erase those pictures from the phone, but I wouldn't do that until I have also checked that they've been uploaded to OneDrive. Then I have just no problem erasing them from the phone. Okay, what else do I want to show you? I want to just go back to my photos. So I've taken some photos. The next thing I do is look at them. And and I want to make them look better. It's so much fun to play with photos. So here's one I took of a flower, and I want to play with it. I want to make it look better. That's the editing tools, and that is this little icon right here. It used to be a pencil. This changed just recently.
Yeah, it
I
looks
don't
like a little bar, like a thing that you used to have on your music, like
Yeah,
a music
looks
board.
like music notes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a music board or something. Like,
What it really is, it's supposed to look like a set of sliders,
yeah,
sliders to do adjustments and stuff.
yeah.
I wish they brought the pencil. I like the pencil, but that's the way it goes. That is the edit. Because look at this. There's this same icon, but it means something different here. So we are in edit mode here. And the first thing I do, let me point out something first. You see, this is the iPhone. See this all this black space on either side?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? The iPhone is taking the picture in a
4x3.
in a 3:2.
Yeah. Okay.
4:3, 3:2. I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
Anyway, where the screen is 16:9 ratio. I much prefer to see it fill the screen. So that's the first thing I almost always do is I use the crop tool and I use this constraints and I tell it I want it 16:9. And then
Now,
I'm
is that
done.
also on Android that way, or is it just the iPhone?
It is absolutely on both.
Okay. Okay.
But a lot of Androids, the camera takes the picture.
Oh,
in the
that's true.
16:9.
That's true.
So you don't need it. But if you want to make that adjustment is on both
Okay.
Android and iPhone version. Okay, and then these are the different filters. I almost always try an auto. Ooh, that made quite a difference.
It did.
I think I like the auto. But now I also wish that there was a little bit more definition in the flower. So I'm going to use the third item here, which is adjustments. And there's this thing called pop. And pop does just that, just kind of makes it more definition, more pop. See if as I put it all the way over to the right. And I think maybe it doesn't need to be that light. I'm going to lower the light a little bit. And then you save. And doesn't that look better, filling the screen? The yellow is still a little blown out, so you can't always fix everything.
It's showing more black and white than the colors that you were showing. Like yours is a very vibrant yellow flower with green. It's showing on OBS on my video as a little blackish.
Now, this is a fun one here. I got a new haircut yesterday, and I made Jim take a picture of me in all different sides, and then
Made a movie.
and then that's an animation.
That's awesome.
And the way you do that is you just select. The way you select is you long press on a picture. Oops. And I scrolled at the same time. Long press on one picture till it's selected, and then tap, 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 tap. And then plus, and then animation. That's all there is to it. It's just so much fun to play with Google Photos.
That's awesome.
Now I've created a whole new image here. I don't need that. I'm going to select it and press the trash can to delete it.
And that deletes it from everywhere, or just on your phone?
That deletes it from everywhere.
Okay.
Trash, that's what the trash can means. Trash can means this is garbage.
Okay.
Delete it from everywhere. And for you iPhone users out there, if you have iCloud Photo Library turned on, it will be deleted from there as well. Okay, and another thing, so this one I want to edit also. So I'll tap the edit. I want to crop it into a 16:9 format and then decide what part of the picture I want to keep. I want to make it a little bit bluer. I like this wheel filter for when I want things blue. And that's pretty good. I'll save. And this step does not happen in the Android. This is an iPhone thing.
Okay.
Where you have to take that second step.
Now let me ask you: when you're editing, does it save the original or no? Can you ever get the original?
You certainly can. It's done. It's like layers. I mean, you don't actually see layers, but if you think of the concept of layers,
Okay.
so here is the photo that I just edited, this one.
Mm-hmm.
If I go back into edit, tap the three dot menu in the upper right,
Mm-hmm.
I can go back to original.
Oh, okay.
So it's just an undo of all edits.
Okay. Can you save both the original and that though? Is that possible?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. If I'm jumping ahead, just yell at me.
No, no, those are good questions.
Okay.
So if I go in here and I redo some uh, the edits and reel and yeah, save. So instead of just save, I tap the three dot menu and save
Oh,
a copy.
nice. Great. And that's Android as well.
Yes. Yes,
Nice.
that's and computer.
Nice.
Okay. Now, just in order to show you one of my very favorite editing tools, I want to show you some samples. And I have a folder called Class Edit Samples. I would search for edit. I would see Class Edit Samples, Class Edit Examples. And let's go this way. So this is an album. This is an album. And check, I mean, can you even see a picture underneath my finger?
Not really.
It's so dark.
Yeah.
If you didn't know about these editing tools, you would just delete that picture. I'm going to tap it, tap edit, and tap auto.
Oh, so
And
it
not
brings it
only do
there.
you now see the deer, you
Hmm.
see that there's a second deer behind there. Okay. But the one, oh, and this is a good example too. If you're into photography at all, you'll notice that something's just off about this picture. It's the white balance. So I must have taken it with an SLR camera that was set on fluorescent lighting or something. That the lighting is just off. Well, Google Photos editing tools understands that, and just tapping auto fixes the white balance.
Hmm. Very nice.
Save. But my favorite editing tool isn't even in Google Photos. It is in a companion program called Snapseed.
Hmm.
So this is a nice photo, and I could make it look even nicer just using the Google Photos editing tools. But if I have Snapseed installed on this phone, I can get to it just from the three dot menu, open in Snapseed, and then I can use the Snapseed tools, one called HDRscape. And just automatically can you tell the how much richer and more defined this picture is? And it's set automatically to a strength of 50. If I just rub my finger over it, you can see that's with no
Oh yeah.
HDR, and that's with a lot of
Oh
HDR.
yeah. Almost
And
makes it look like a painting.
exactly, that's exactly what it makes it look like. It turns it into a piece of art. And we
Now is Snapseed a paid for product?
nope, it's free and it's by Google.
Oh wow.
So I go back here. Now so I've taken my pictures, I've played with my pictures and made them look better. Now I need to decide which ones are good enough to put in an album. And I actually haven't started an October album yet, so that's what I will do. So I like this flower, and I can tap the three dot menu, add to album, and create new album. I mean, if I was still in September, I could go down here. Takes a minute for them to populate. There we go. And I would put it into my 2017-09. I'd like to have the numbers September, but it's not. It's October, and I need to make a new album. And I call it, and this is just my convention I've developed over the years. I like to have it so that it is a sortable title, although Google Photos does not know how to sort album titles yet. Yeah, that's a number one feature. Oops, October isn't '09, is it?
Tom asked out there, is Snapseed available on PC?
No,
No, it's
it
not.
is.
It's only mobile.
It is a mobile only
App.
app. Yep. Okay. So, and I can just add more pictures to this October, but now I need to show you just a little bit how we doing on time there.
We're doing okay. We're fine.
Michael?
We're
Yeah?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, for you Android people out there, I just want to show you that everything I've done, because Google Photos is cloud-based, everything I've done, this is my old Samsung Galaxy S5, but it has Google Photos. And we should see
Everything you've done.
everything we've done.
Mhm.
Backup complete, and there are the 2 photos I took at the beginning. So if I lost one phone, no big deal. You just get another phone.
Wow.
You install Google Photos, you give it your account, and you're all set. If I go to albums, we should see an October album. All right. We're not seeing an October album yet, but we will.
It's
I'm
probably in the
sure.
process, yeah.
Yeah, well, I know that. But speaking of, so the October album is my created album. There are also automatic albums. Google Photos just automatically groups pictures by people, places, and things. So here is people, and it doesn't know who that person is, but it knows that that face is the same as that face, and it groups them together. Now, I know who it is, and I can
Name it.
tap where it says, "Who is this?" and put a name, and that name is for my eyes only. So that's what I've done up here. And the cool thing is, so this is our grandson, and it is in date order, so I can even go all the way back and see him as a baby. And I did nothing to make that happen.
That's awesome.
That is Google Photos artificial intelligence.
That's awesome.
All right. Anything else on the phone?
What about, explain, because you can share an album or you can just share, because so there's sharing and then there's albums and then sharing albums. I mean, it gets kind of confusing. Can you kind of clarify that a little bit? or maybe you can't. I don't know. Maybe I touched on something that's tough.
I can make it more confusing.
Okay. Sure, whatever.
Sharing is a whole separate section now.
Yep.
And this just happened, I don't know, for
It was
5
the
months
IO.
ago or
Yeah, the
so.
IO, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
So sharing is either albums or individual photos. But basically the way Google Photos see it is if you shared it, it considers it an album. So yeah, it is hard to, but let me just do the taps. So what Michael is talking about is, here's a picture of, hurricane damage here at our property, and let's say I want to share that with the insurance company, and Michael, you're an insurance company. I just
Okay.
tap it, I tap share, and to share that one picture, I could choose more, but if you just tap next, all I have to do is put an email and send, and that picture has been shared with that one person. The album, I can find an album, so let's say my September album, and when I tap share, I can do the same thing. I can send it to one person, or what I think is better is get link. So I usually choose get link, and then I can post that link somewhere, like in Facebook, or in my case, on the blog. I'm going to switch over to the computer now, just so that I can show you my blog. So this is my blog, geeksontour.blogspot.com. I use Blogger. I love Blogger.
You have a very nice house.
This is our house right here.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
We're parked at a winery.
I
That's
see.
this photo.
That'd be a good house, though. I would like that house.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's full of wine too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Oh, okay, got it. So here's my blog, and it's just a normal blog, like anybody's blog. You go back in time, but I also have a page just for our photo albums. And how I do this is for each month. So as they say, I make an album per each month, and for each month I click on that share in Google Photos and I get a link. Then I post a little photo here or a word, February, and I
clickable.
Hyperlink it to that album's link. So when I click on February, it takes me to my Google Photos
That's awesome.
album for February. And I want to show you just Google Photos on the web. So there is no software. You just go to photos.google.com, make sure you're logged in with your account, and you should be seeing all the same stuff on here that you do on your phone. If you're not, then it hasn't been backed up. So I'm going to refresh. I don't see those two, the selfie and the picture of Jim, but if I refresh, I'll bet you anything we will. There we
There you go.
So there is the photo of me and of Jim that I just took. And if I go to albums, there is the October album with just the one picture in it so
There
far.
it is.
And if I prefer, I can start adding pictures to that album on the computer rather than on the phone.
Very nice. Andrew makes a comment, Chris, you are so organized.
I've done this a few times.
Yeah, no doubt. But I think it takes a while. Personally, it took me a while to figure out, okay, what do I want to share? How do I want to share? Like, I want to share some things with my son. I have a brand new grandbaby.
Yeah.
So I want to share some with my mom, but not all of them. And then I set up an album just for us. And then I have an album for my son and my wife that I want to get everything sent to them. So I think you can separate it and set it up different ways. That's interesting to be able to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I say that my official album, I do one per month because we live in an RV most of the time. We're always traveling. We
Right.
take tons and tons of pictures. So most people would make an album for birthdays and holidays and vacations.
Yep.
So I do make other albums, but I definitely have my monthly. And then, do you know about the shared library feature? So Jim takes pictures on his phone. Some of those are my ones.
Yeah, I do know. Okay.
And vice versa. So you can share your entire library with one person.
One person.
So if I click on the menu, I will see that shared libraries. Here is Jim's. This is just like me just having a doorway into
his photos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And same thing that he has of mine. Photo books.
And you can choose whether you want all of them too, though, right?
Yeah.
Like in my business, I take pictures of my receipts and stuff. My wife doesn't need to see that, so I can limit what she sees too.
Right. In the shared libraries. There is the three-dot menu at the top, shared library settings.
Right. Okay. There you go. All your
So,
photos.
right.
It was up there. It said
There's so much.
share
Yeah.
all your photos. It said, I think it was the option that was under his name. Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
All your photos. And you can change that to make it limited ones or whichever ones or
Right. Like if you
specific
and your wife are
people.
taking a lot of pictures of your new grandbaby,
Right.
and you don't care about any of the other pictures she's taking,
Right.
just the ones of the grandbaby,
Right.
you can do that.
Exactly. Cool. That's awesome. I wish they had more than one person though, because it'd be neat to share some things with like my kids and then some with my wife and some. But
Well, there's also just plain shared albums. So
Right.
before they came up with, well, and even still, Jim and I have an album that, yeah, 2017 shared JNC. So if he takes a picture and he edits it and he knows it's something that I would want to have, he puts it in this shared album, and I do vice versa. So sometimes we just want to look at our shared album. In a way, I actually do like that better than the shared library, but it's a little bit more work. It's a touch more work. You have to put it in there.
right.
Okay, I didn't do a movie. Shall I do a? Let me
Yeah.
just do a movie, and that will be
Perfect.
the finale.
That'd be
How's that?
perfect. Yes, absolutely. I love this too. This is a cool feature, and since it's so cool that you just brought that up. He says, Michael Thomas says, "Yep, I download all my vids and pics on Google Photos before I share them on Instagram, Twitter, and my Android phone, and I have an interesting editing app called Zoe." But he says, "I like to put the rest and make a movie." I think he said that. Somebody said that, if I remember correctly. Something to that effect. I've never heard of Zoe. ZOE?
I think I heard of it for the first time just today.
Oh, really?
Oh, look at this. I crashed. My document camera app just crashed.
Oh, I
Let's
see.
see if it. And that is something that I cannot show you on the computer. Creating the little movies is only on the mobile devices.
Okay.
All right, let's see if it stopped. Let me see if I can get it back.
No worries.
There we go. Looks like it did. Yep.
Okay.
All right, and I'll just make it bigger. Okay. So I took a walk around the neighborhood today, and check out this. You'll know that we're in Florida when you recognize these.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
A little
All right.
lizard there.
So I have a little movie of a little video clip of iguanas, and I have that picture of the lake that I edited. I have that picture of the flower. I really like having just some motion in a video, not
Yeah.
just a slideshow of stills. And a waving flag is always a good one. And and then just a nice picture of a tree. All right, so step one, you just select the pieces that you want to go in your movie. And I may as well have me and Jim in there too. So me and Jim and the iguana. Can you tell which one is which? The tree, the lake, the waving flag, and a flower. So I have selected 7 pieces. You tap plus and movie. And it automatically arranges them, adds music. Can you hear the music?
Yep, barely. Now, is that is this one on the Android or on the iPhone that you're on?
Well, this is the iPhone that I'm
Okay.
showing you
Okay.
right.
Yeah. That's what. Okay.
This is one area where there is a difference. When Google Photos first came out, the Movie Maker on the Android and the iPhone were the same. Then they, quote, upgraded the one on the iPhone.
Hmm.
but the one on the Android has more features. I've been waiting for them to add those features to here. So, but it's very easy to work with. So each piece is a line here. It's a little bit easier to, this is something that I think makes more sense in the vertical, in the vertical format. So you can see that first is the flower, then's the waving flag. You know, let's say I wanted me to be first. I would grab a hold of me and just drag it up. And the flower is nice, but I don't want it to be on the screen for quite as long, so I can shorten that. And I didn't like the music. I tap on the little music symbol there, and I can change.
Yeah, they have quite a few actually, quite a different tunes.
And different types. So this is in the upbeat collection. The reflective collection. All right, so you can do that forever. And when you find a piece of music you like, you tap the check mark. And if you like it, you tap save. But notice there's no transitions.
Yep.
There's no in and out. There's no Ken Burns effect. There is on the Android version of it. And I do have videos on the Android one. Like I say, I've been waiting for the iPhone one to update. It's been a year now. Okay, so the little movie, and that movie can be added to my October
album.
Album, yeah.
Very nice. That is so wonderful. It really is. That's awesome.
I do love Google Photos. It's not perfect, and it's not for every use of photos. But I mean, the people who don't like it are ones who want to be in total control. People who have spent years making their folders just so, and naming things and adjusting things and adding their own tags.
Yeah.
Google Photos is not for them.
Gotcha.
Google Photos is for us lazy people who don't want to do any of that work. Just want it all gathered for us.
But I think there's a lot more of us out there, to be honest with you. I think that a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people want to just be able to take their photos, send them, whatever, in the easiest possible way without doing doing the least amount.
Yes, and there are 500 million of us.
Wow.
Is that what isn't it 500 million users of Google Photos now?
That's incredible.
Or is it a billion? No, I don't think they've hit a billion yet.
Wow, that's crazy.
But they will. They will.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. I don't know how they have that much computer storage. One of these days I want to visit one of those server farms.
If they let you. No. Well, you don't know how much I appreciate you tonight. That was so wonderful. Folks.
Well, like I said, just try and stop me if you have an opportunity to talk about Google Photos.
Folks, it's a blessing having you on, I swear. I just love what you do, and I know that your passion there. Folks, feel free to reach out to her. Go to her YouTube channel. We'll have all that stuff. She gave me 3 links to video. It'll be in the description. 3 videos that she did, and it'll show you some of the stuff that she did. Go to their channel, Geeks on Tour, is your YouTube channel, is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, search for Geeks on Tour. It's actually Geeks on Tour TV is our YouTube.
Okay.
But geeksontour.com is all you need to know. There's links to everything else there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I encourage you to go and watch. I watched, I think, an hour-long video that you did on Google Photos, one of the original ones you did, because I wanted to get some insight to it. And you folks know I've had Google Photos on a couple times on our H&M show already. I just love photos. We're going to wrap it up. But folks, listen, we'll have an after show in the community. We have a paid for community. Those of you that want to join the community, feel free to, in the description of this YouTube video, you'll see how to do that. It's all in the description of each show, how to join our paid for Google Plus community. Come join us. We're going to have an after party. anybody that's in the community now, I will send the link over there to you to the Zoom that we are in, how we do this presentation here, and come in and talk to Chris and Jim a little bit longer. I'm sure Jim will get involved too. I'm sure he'll be a part of it. I know he will. But I want to thank you.
My pleasure.
And I'm sure I'll have you on again, just because, like you said, you could talk about this for 3 hours. You covered maybe what, 5, 6, 7 things maybe. There's a lot more. There's a lot more.
There is. Yeah, I didn't even show you my 60,000 pictures.
That's true. So we got a lot of pictures to see next time. So anyway, thank you so much. I'm going to hit the closing credits, folks. Join us next week. I believe Heather may be back. Who knows? If not, I'll have another top contributor or something, because I love having some of these folks and exposing them out there to get them known, because they do a lot. A lot of these people, you included, do a lot of things for other people, and I just appreciate it, and I want to make sure that we're seeing. Thanks again, Chris. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.